Hey, welcome to a really quick episode of The Silly Kitchen. Today I just wanted to show you an awesome side dish that you can make with Brussels sprouts. I know it's a really great vegetable to use in the fall, coming into the winter. A lot of recipes I've seen even over the Christmas season and Thanksgiving that people were using, but it is the new year and I love vegetables and I wanted to show you a really quick side dish to make with these little guys. Super easy, and one thing that I really like about what I'm going to show you today is a lot of the times I'm roasting something in the oven or I've got a piece of meat in there, baking or cooking, and I want to make Brussels sprouts as well. And I don't have one of those fancy ovens where you have the two different temperatures and two different variations. So I want to show you that you can make a really great Brussels sprout on the frying pan on your stovetop. Couple quick ingredients: lemon, salt and pepper, a little bit of olive oil, and away you go. I'm going to actually show you a shredded version of these. A lot of the times people cut them in half and roast them, and they're amazing that way, but we're going to do things slightly different. So away we go. First thing I want to show you is how you're going to chop these up. So take the little end pieces off first, clean up if there's any like weird leaves that have kind of gone, do that first. But then all you're going to do is have a slice through like you would normally roast them halfway, and then place them on your board. This one already looks good. Place them on your board kind of facing down, and you can do one at a time or two at a time, whatever you're comfortable with. And you're just gonna do a really thin slice. Pretty easy so far, right? I'm going slow because I don't want to cut my fingers off, and I don't have the best knife skills, but I make do. So that's kind of one, and then when you kind of pick it all apart like that, you get this beautiful little shred on your little mini Brussels sprouts. And just like that, with the magic of TV, I've cut up 6 pretty fairly sized Brussels sprouts. They are kind of like baby cabbages. And I'm just kind of using my hands to get them all separated. They'll separate a bit while we're cooking it as well. The other ingredient I forgot to tell you about was baked prosciutto. A lot of people use bacon in their Brussels sprout recipes, but you guys know how much I love baked prosciutto. And if you don't, go check out the video. I'll link it at the end of this one and in the description. You just put it in the oven and bake it for a couple minutes, and it's beautiful. Way less mess than bacon. It's salty, it's crispy, and we're gonna use baked prosciutto in this recipe as well. So that's it. We chopped up our Brussels sprouts. I've got some lemon, baked prosciutto, and we're gonna take the frying pan over to the stovetop. To start, just turn on your burner to somewhere around high heat. A little lower than high heat. I mean, medium high is what I always say, but a little higher than medium high, let's go with. And typically I would start with a little bit of garlic on the bottom of my pan, but I have some garlic infused olive oil today, so I'm just gonna skip the garlic and I'm gonna let the pan heat up with a little bit of olive oil in it. Once your pan is hot, I can tell because I put my hand over and I can feel the warmth, we're just gonna drop in those Brussels sprouts. So just give her. Oh, I love the sizzle. The sizzle is good. Don't lose any pieces and get all these bits in there. Just give it a stir every once in a while. I want to have a little bit of that brown color on these Brussels sprouts. That's why the heat is a little bit higher. If you feel like there wasn't enough olive oil, feel free to add a little drizzle more if you need. If you want, you can use butter as well. It'll have a little bit of that browning color to give you, but just be patient. We're gonna need 3 or 4 minutes here, just stirring it occasionally and getting some beautiful brown bits happening. This is also a good time where you can add your salt and pepper. While it's starting to kind of cook out, let your salt and your peppers start getting those flavors in there. Again, add as much or as little as you want. Oh, they smell so good already. Now, I like mine still with a little bit of crunch. I find if you have ever had overcooked Brussels sprouts, whole or like this, it gets really like mushy and soggy, and I think that's why maybe my generation didn't like Brussels sprouts, because they were overcooked and mushy and gross. So keep an eye on it. High heat for a short amount of time is the way I like to do it. So we're getting pretty close. See those brown bits? That means it is time to add our prosciutto. I chopped it up into small little pieces because that's how I want it in here. Be generous with your prosciutto. Since we aren't using bacon, this is going to be the alternative that I like to use. And just mix it in, because you've already baked the prosciutto. You're pretty much just warming it up now so that it still stays a little bit crunchy for you with the crunch of the Brussels sprouts. And some of that saltiness now cooks out into the Brussels sprouts as well. Oh, this is looking beautiful. I can't wait to have this. As my final step, I'm gonna turn this way, way down. And I just have a wedge of lemon. You can use a little bit more or less. But for your final ingredient, oh, I don't wanna get the seed in there. Saw an extra one. Just give it a little bit of lemon to finish it off. And that is how we finish the dish. Quick and easy side dish that you can serve up with chicken, pork. I mean, really, there's endless options with what you could put this on the side of. And just to make sure I'm gonna serve it on the side of something, I better try it. It might be a little warm. Garlic, lemon, the saltiness from the prosciutto and the salt that we seasoned it with. It's got a little bit of zing, but still I love that there's crunch to the Brussels sprout and crunch from the prosciutto. Absolutely, the texture is perfect. So don't overcook your Brussels sprouts, if that's one thing that I can tell you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love that you're following. Please hit subscribe if you feel like you want to see more of these come up in your YouTube feed. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you tune in again soon. Bye.